A defendant expresses confusion and frustration after being charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He insists he hasn't done anything wrong and struggles with personal and family challenges. The court explains that an investigation on March 17, 2025, alleges he threatened a resident with a fork at a group home.
I'm sorry, sir.
After all that we've gone through,
This case,
gone through trying the this, the that, and now you've picked up an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Don't talk about the case, Mr.
He's a
Franklin.
prosecutor.
The only thing is, I cannot express my disappointment. I really thought that you and I were like reaching together.
we were, and we really are. My family's working against me. They trying to take my SSI check and stuff. I haven't done anything. This is my 35th year. I haven't done nothing.
So look, I don't even know what happened. I want to know. So he picked up an ag assault with them. What happened? Please, just don't say anything, please. I just want to know what happened or why they're saying what happened. Okay.
On March 17th, 2025, at approximately 5:48 p.m., officers were dispatched with an aggravated assault call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officers met with the complainant, who stated they are a resident in a group home. The complainant stated that the defendant is a person they have known for 3 weeks. The complainant stated the defendant arrived at the group home around 5:38 p.m. and knocked on the front door multiple times, cussing at another resident due to them not opening up the front door fast enough. The complainant stated the defendant continued yelling, cursing.
The defendant claims he's not violent and feels targeted. He insists these charges are false and reflects on his long life without prior serious offenses. The judge warns him to avoid escalating conflicts, highlighting the risks of repeated offenses and the potential for long-term consequences if he loses self-control.
Cursing and talking down to the resident. So the complainant tried to talk the defendant down. The defendant stated to the complainant that he was going to fuck him up, then went to his bedroom. The defendant took a hold of a fork which the complainant believed was a knife and pointed it at the complainant. The complainant asked if he was going to get stabbed, and the defendant charged at the complainant. The complainant stated they feared for serious bodily injury or death. The complainant ran and locked themselves in the motor vehicle and called the police. While waiting for the police in the vehicle, the defendant was still threatening to kill the complainant and was kicking the vehicle.
Wow. I just came from Food Town and I went back home to eat. I was at the door, I knocked.
Stop. Just the problem is that there's some people in this life, Shaisa is always happening for some reason. Always. This, that, this. It's always happening. It's always happening. Don't matter where you go. I'm always stepping in, you know?
I'm not a violent person.
Your history says.
I'm not a violent person. I'm an SSI patient. I've been dealing with this stuff all my life. Soon as they get my name
The only thing
to use my social.
The only thing I'm going to say is that, you know, it's time to do some deep reflection. You know, it really is time, because the thing is that I don't want you to end up with a 40-year sentence, man, because of the no self-control. I really thought we had something. I'm just so disappointed, man.
I don't know. Well, I'm the one that's been did wrong. I'm kind of more.
So look, I got to revoke your bond, man. So
I don't know why.
Because you picked up a felony.
I'm doing everything I can do. It's people out there doing hate cases, hate crimes, all towards people like me. All I'm trying to do is just get my home back. They took it from me. Everything. This stuff is happening against me. I'm not assaulting people. I never assault people.
you know, the problem is that while this case is open, we can't do anything in here anyways. You know, what I'd like to do is, you know, have you evaluated to see how we go forward, because I just don't know.
A lot of this stuff
Can't
was
do it?
already false. All of this stuff is false. So it's me.
We're gonna have to wait.
The
for
court sets bond at $5,001 and issues strict warnings: no weapons, no new offenses, and no alcohol or drugs. The judge emphasizes the importance of protecting the community, while allowing the defendant to maintain his freedom under supervision, stressing that violations could result in immediate
We're gonna have
incarceration.
to wait for it to play out. I hope, I hope, Mr. Franklin, but I don't know. Well, I gotta wait to see the evidence and see what
Why y'all
happens.
can't just send me to a psych ward unit or something while all of this is going on?
First, I have to have you evaluated, but I can't do that until the felonies are
This is
worked
not making
out.
no sense. This is my 35th year, and I have to keep dealing with this stuff.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna revoke it. I'll set it at 5,001. All right, Mr. Franklin, I just don't want you to have any weapons and just don't pick up any new cases, man.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks. Is it Gaston or
Gaston.
Gaston? Mr. Gaston, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with evading arrest or detention and unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine on both of those cases. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle speeding on Gulf Freeway feeder by radar device going 72 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. The officer then observed the vehicle turn left at a red light. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer instructed the driver to step out of the vehicle, and the officer began to detain the driver. As the officer was detaining the driver, the front passenger, the defendant, exited the vehicle. The officer instructed the defendant to return to the vehicle, and the defendant ignored the officer's instructions and started to walk away. The officer ordered the defendant to stop, and the defendant started running northbound. The officer observed the defendant place his left hand near the front of his waistband and throw a small black and blue object near a fence. The officer informed other officers of the defendant's location. Officers observed the defendant running eastbound on the 3,300th block of Scott Street and attempted to apprehend the defendant. The defendant was apprehended at the 3,100th block of Milby Street, approximately 0.2 miles away from the scene. The officers searched the area and located a firearm. The officer remained in visual contact with the location and no individuals approached that area.
What are they doing wrong? I mean, the officer just stops them and just arrests them? What for?
I'm not sure why the officer immediately detained him.
Really? Is that what we do now? We just stop and arrest? No, I'm gonna find no probable cause in your case. Just be careful, man. If you got a gun, God forbid you use it, something happens, you dig yourself in a hole. Come on, man. We got one life. Be smart. Go to school, get some knowledge, make a ton of money, you know?
Another defendant, James, appears for assault charges. On March 13, 2025, he allegedly attacked a complainant at a gas station, striking and choking him. The judge orders probable cause to proceed, but stresses the importance of remaining calm, exercising the right to remain silent, and following bond conditions to avoid further danger or legal trouble. Asterisk.
Take a seat, please. Thanks, bud.
What was the last name, Judge?
Gaston,
Okay.
on both, no PC.
All right, Judge, next is page 6.
Did they arrest the driver? I mean, did they charge him with anything? Do you know? Do we have him for anything?
No, there's no connected cases.
Just driving while black.
Your Honor, I would just, I'm gonna point something out here. It was a speeding stop where the passenger was getting out of the car. I would say the officer would have the right to at least make sure the passenger was in the car while he was conducting a stop. That's his.
Yes.
I don't even think that's an arrestable offense. You know? It's not an arrestable offense. They just literally pull him out, he's speeding and they arrest him. And then the co-defendant's doing nothing wrong. He just gets out of the car. He can just walk away. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. James.
I know. I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I didn't have my court papers. I thought I was supposed to be on the 25th. And I called the court.
Okay, I will reinstate your bond today.
Now I called the court, and she told me here this morning. So I had to catch 2 buses. I catch 1 bus.
There's no need for you to say anything. Just don't miss court again.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
I'm sorry, but there's a photo from my computer.
Excuse me,
We have to do probable cause.
oh, we got,
Just, you have the right to remain silent. I don't want you to say anything because I don't want you to hurt your case anymore, okay?
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 3:11 a.m., officers were dispatched to a gas station in Houston, Harris County, Texas, in reference to an assault. Upon arrival, officers met with the complainant, who stated the defendant assaulted him with his arms. The complainant stated he was at the gas station when an unrelated suspect started beating on him. As he was getting beat up, the defendant jumped onto the complainant and started beating on him as well. The defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist and strangled the complainant from behind with his forearms in a chokehold for 5 minutes. The complainant passed out. The complainant stated he felt pain. The complainant pointed out the defendant, who was across the street, and the officers attempted to detain the defendant, and the defendant resisted. The complainant positively identified the defendant. The complainant and the defendant are acquaintances through the complainant's girlfriend. The complainant had a bruise on his neck and a bump knot on his cheek. I have spoken to the complainant. So from what the complainant has told me is, it is
Sir.
consistent.
Move.
It's consistent with the rip, but then also this other suspect apparently had fired at their vehicle while the defendant was being detained, and there's an ongoing aggravated assault along with this as well for the other suspect.
Know who that is?
Yes, I've gotten his name. I need to reach out to the officer to see what the status is on that, but we do have the name of the other suspect.
James, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to
The
go.
court imposes strict conditions: no alcohol, drugs, weapons, or contact with the complainant, plus random testing and an ankle monitor. The judge warns that any violation could result in immediate bond revocation. The defendant is reminded that safety and compliance are essential while awaiting trial. Asterisk.
Cause to go forward with your case. If I find that you put hands on anyone in this life from now on, I'm going to revoke your bond, and I'm going to make it so high you'll have teeth falling out. Do you understand?
that's right.
You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. If I find that you're a danger to my community, likewise. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
That's right.
You are not to have any contact with this person. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of this. Was it a gas station?
Yes, it was a gas station, Your Honor.
This gas station, and I'm going to put an ankle monitor where I know where you are at all times. You just had 2 aggravated assaults and a burglary of a building
I didn't,
not months ago. So
John,
Mr.
I
James.
had nothing to do with this.
I want you to understand something. I will protect my community at all cost.
Staff,
Do you understand?
I understand that, sir. But I
I don't.
touched nobody. I broke the fight up between
Here's
this
what
guy.
we'll do. Here's what we will do. I will give you a lawyer today. We will wait for this evidence to come in. There's always 2 sides to a
Yeah,
story.
the officer said they need the film from the gas station. That exonerates me.
I want you to listen.
Sir,
There are always 2 sides to a story. And the evidence will point to whose side is correct. We are giving you the benefit of the doubt, and this is why
Thank you.
you are out in the free world as it is now. But if I find that you become a danger to my community, if I find that you pick up a new case, if I find that you break any of these conditions that I set forth, you know what's going to happen. Do you understand?
sir,
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that. It doesn't matter to me. All what matters to me is going forward, what happens. And I want my community safe.
understand.
Judge, Can we also get a residential restriction for him not to be able to go near the complainant's residence as well? Because from what it sounds like to me, they all know where each
No.
other lives.
No, I don't.
So,
When I say I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in this case,
Can I just say one thing?
hold on. It is a Mr. Hernandez. When I'm telling you I don't want you to have contact with this person, it's phone calls, text messages, social media, where this person lives, where this person works, where this person hangs out. If I find that you are anywhere near this person, then I will revoke your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And here's the rub, is that if I make your bond $5,000 to $10,000 or $15,000 and you don't have anyone to make that bond, you will be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with. All I'm asking you to do now is keep my community safe and don't go near this person.
I don't communicate with this person. I ain't touching nobody, Your Honor. I was breaking this guy.
Stop. I will give you a lawyer today. You can tell your side to the lawyer, and then you guys can come up to an agreement. I don't need to be involved at this
Yes, sir.
time.
But the officer told me they could.
Stop.